All right, we're going to be doing the notes for Unit 6, Day 4 on Explain Everything. You'll be watching a series of 6 videos. The videos will be example problems like the ones that you'll have in your homework. This section in the book is 6.6, Solving Radical and Rational Exponent Equations. You've done some of this before, so it might be familiar. I'm just going to give you a series of examples of the different types like you will see and remind you about a few different things that's unique to each situation. First thing I want to do is go over what the steps are to solving these equations. So as we go through this, I highly recommend that you hit pause and copy down what I'm saying. I'm going to be hitting pause and writing and then starting up and talking again. So that way these videos will be a little bit shorter and take up less space. So hit pause whenever you need to get caught up on the notes. And here we go. The steps to solving a radical or irrational exponent equation. Step 1, again, isolate the radical or the rational exponent. Every one of these problems is going to have something underneath a radical. It might be an expression under a radical, or it's going to have something in parentheses with a rational exponent. Whatever we do, we want to get this on one side all by itself of our equation. Same thing for this. If this is what we're trying to isolate, this is my rational exponent with the fraction, we want to get that on one side of the equation all by itself. That's step 1. It's the same as it's been for the squared function in chapter 4 that we looked at. Same thing in this. We isolate the radical or the rational exponent. Step 2, we're going to raise both sides to a power that eliminates the radical or the rational exponent. For example, using the ones I used on the previous page. If I have a radical, square root, to get rid of this, I would square it. We're going to do that to both sides of the equal sign to keep our equation balanced. If I had my fraction, 3/4, I would multiply the exponents on both sides of my equation by the reciprocal, 4/3. That's going to be the second step. That's going to eliminate our radical or our rational exponent, and it has to be done to both sides. Step 3, after we've got both sides raised to some power, we're going to have to evaluate those powers and solve for x. Okay, we'll start off with an example. This is just a basic example. Example is going to be 2 times the third root of x minus 3 equals 4. Step 1, we want to isolate. What we want to isolate is whatever is my radical. The third root of x minus 3 needs to be on one side all by itself. So the first thing I need to do is divide off the 2. In this case, it was only one step to isolate. So at this point, next thing I'm going to do is raise both sides to a power that eliminates my radical. The power I'm going to raise it to, since it's a cube root, I raise both sides to the third power. I get out what's underneath the radical, x minus 3, and then 2 cubed is 8. Step 3, I'm going to solve for x. And x is equal to 11. You can always check this back in your original. If I plug in x, 11 for x, I get 11 minus 3, which is 8. I need to take the cube root of 8, which is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So this should always check back in your original equation. All right, that's it for video number 1. The next video, we're going to solve an equation that has a rational exponent. So proceed to video 2.